Hi there, welcome to the archives. So, this is the final episode for the year, and it's called Four Things I Learned About Gratitude in 2022. So, the last blog I did looked at four things jealousy taught me. So, I wanted to end the year off on a more positive note. And gratitude is something I've been sitting with, especially as I go through my 2022 year end wrap up. So I came up with four things that I've learned about gratitude. And the first one is gratitude is a practice. So in 2019, when I was in Ghana recovering, I was given Thank You Jesus beads by my mom. And what they are is it kind of looks like the rosary, but it's like a longer version and it doesn't have all the decades. And you just go through each bead reciting like thank you Jesus. You go through it about 4 or 5 times. Since then, I've added the beads to my morning routine and I use them as part of my gratitude practice. So what I found is that it helps me to anchor myself first thing in the morning. So I typically start with going through each bead saying like thank you, but I like to also add things that I'm grateful for as I do it. So, it might look like thank you for the sun, thank you for the food bank, thank you for food, thank you for the hosts that booked me to care for their pets, thank you for life, thank you for breath, thank you. Just different things that I'm grateful for. I go through and list. And I've been doing it for about 3 years now. And I mean, I do this daily. With the rare exceptions, it's very rare that I'll miss it. But even if I don't do it in the morning, throughout the day, I'll find different ways to be grateful for, even if it's just listing 5 things. Um, and it really, really helps me. And so I do this consistently because, like I said, it really helps to anchor me. It helps to give me perspective, especially when life is really hard. Or if I'm like in a negative spiral, if I'm unable to see anything that's worthwhile about living, gratitude always really helps. Setting aside time each day, especially right before I get up, it helps me to sink into gratitude. Even if I get out of bed, I'm just like, I have a miserable day. It's a Murphy's Law type of day. At least I had that first half hour, those first 2 hours of the day where I'm just able to really go through things that I'm grateful for. And since I got the beads, we've got a global pandemic. There's been inflation, climate crisis. It's just surging and getting worse in some areas. I finished my PhD. Since then, I'm currently struggling to like find income or employment. Housing has been an issue. Food. I mean, there's so many different things like other people that just give you reasons to really despair. But I've never gone without. There's always a lot of different players who take part in keeping me going. That includes other humans, other animals, and the natural elements, right? So I'm sure, like, I try to make sure that I find time every day to remind myself of the network that keeps me alive daily. Number two is gratitude takes a lot of consistent faith. Um, it could be hard to hear folks, in spiritual communities sometimes blaming you for like, your own downfall, even if it's rightfully so. Or that good things don't come to you because you're not grateful enough, or that, your mentality and your mindset isn't always 100% of the time positive. And so, like a lot attracts like, and all of that kind of conversation. I'm sure you've heard it. I'm not here to argue whether or not it's right or wrong. I'm simply saying that sometimes the victim blaming narratives, they don't always account for the ways that we're all caught up in powerful webs of exploitation, of domination, dominating systems that mean harm. There are a lot of sociopolitical and economic realities that render many of us powerless, right? We can't pretend that that doesn't exist. To not account for those realities is sort of strange to me. Um, and yeah, it's just, there's a lot, there had been examples, but I'm going to leave them out. There's just a lot of examples where we're reminded that there's some things that are out of our power, right? We are in this world collectively at this time, and not all things won't always go our way. No matter how good you are, no matter how much you're doing all of the right things, it could be really hard sometimes. Um, Like I said, every single morning I start off with gratitude. I just literally start every day off by saying the rosary like I was taught a good Catholic does. I say the rosary every night. I say the rosary every morning, sometimes throughout the day. I start my day off with prayer to my Creator, to the ancestors that guide me, to the archangels that surround me. I meditate every morning, and still life hasn't always played out how I hope it would, right? Meaning that gratitude takes a lot of faith. It takes a lot of faith. It takes a certain element of naivete. You have to be naive in a way, right? You have to be delusional, maybe even, to think that life will still work out when you have so many reasons to believe that it won't. To keep going and to find reasons that you're grateful can be really, it's a test of faith. I also wanted to know here that, like, of course, life will throw all of us curveballs. There's so many different reasons for us to not be grateful, but and then that asking people to be grateful for situations of harm, or to find a silver lining and violence in their lives, that's very strange to me. So I just wanted to flag that that can also happen, right? We're asking people to be grateful for things that no one should be grateful for, right? Like, oh, well, it gave you tough skin and it made you a better person and you're stronger. Like, no, stop asking people to be grateful for shit that they should never have experienced in the first place. That's another thing I wanted to add. Number 3 is that gratitude begets more gratitude. With that said, like, I know that I've started noticing that being grateful does help give you more reasons to be grateful, at least in my experience, right? I found that even the smallest and unexpected places, there's reasons to be grateful. Somehow, I'm always given more reasons to be grateful, even when I feel undeserving. There are things that just happen to fall into place. People and resources show up and live like out of nowhere. There's always reasons to be grateful, at least in my experience. This is also recognizing that a lot of us have some privileges, um, right? Uh, and I can't speak for everybody. So as much as I say gratitude begets more gratitude, I also want to acknowledge, just as I did before, that there's certain things that happen to us. Some people also just happen to be in really amazing situations that others are not in. That will also naturally draw more things to be grateful, right? If you come from like a first world nation, quote unquote, first world nation, if you come from a family with lots of power and resources, like, of course, you're always going to be given more reasons to be grateful than somebody who doesn't have that, right? So I want to be mindful of that. Number 4 is gratitude feels good. I've woken up in a lot of pain sometimes, and as soon as I start going through those beads and finding ways to be grateful, I find that I'm shifting energetically. Again, I'm not saying that gratitude cures all of my pain or that it heals any physical ailments per se, but it does feel good somehow. I don't know how to explain it. It lifts me out of negative downward spirals. It recenters me. It grounds me on an energetic level. If I say that love feels good, I'm sure you know what it is that I'm talking about, right? Same with gratitude. I saw a tweet a couple days ago that said rest feels good. Like, there's just certain things that feel good that's not tangible, but you know that it feels good. That's gratitude for me, right? I feel really supported. I feel held. I feel cared for when I'm going through things that I'm grateful for. It just reminds you that it's going to be all right. Like, just thank you. When you like, thank you for whatever, right? 2022 gave me many reasons to be grateful, as hard as it was. I started the year off pet sitting for the first time. I've been so grateful for the hosts and the pets that I've had. I'll do a blog in the new year on how I found pet sitting this past year. I got to be part of different communities that I'm also grateful for, like Wanda Duncan over at Black Women Travel. Wanda's been my person of the year, hands down, without a doubt. I'm so grateful that I was able to meet Wanda. Wanda connected me with some amazing people. I was able to get my first pitch out because of Wanda. Just being able to spend every week, everything was every Saturday, we would get together as a collective. That really helped me as well too. So I'm so grateful for that. I had a new supervisor who helped me finish up my PhD. She got me an editor that I'm so grateful for. I really don't know how I would have gone through that PhD without Candida, so thank you. I've had Airbnb hosts who've been really gracious and supportive, strangers who pop out of nowhere and help me with different things. Just a couple of days ago, we got lost in the woods. We were in there for over 3 hours. It was getting dark. It was starting to approach 4. I didn't know how we were going to get out. It was just a maze. I was frustrated. And out of nowhere, this man popped up and just really helped us to find our way out, which I'm so grateful for. Um, I've had aunties and uncles who have supported me emotionally, financially. Everybody who showed up to my PhD dissertation. You didn't have to show up to watch me defend, but they did, and I'm just so grateful for that. I've had a friend let me stay by her when I was struggling to find housing. FaceTime chats that just really gave me clarity and make me feel like it's okay to be myself. I haven't been part of any group chats in a while. That's something I don't even know if I'm calling that in. I'm okay with that. But there's just all to say there's many reasons to be grateful, even on the toughest days. Even as hard as it is, I'm grateful that I find reasons to be grateful, that I'm given reasons to still be grateful. Um, so yeah, thank you for all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I could not have made it through this year without so many people. Thank you for your support. Thank you for reading my blogs, and thank you for listening to the audio. Thank you for watching my videos. If you've ever shared my things with other people, thank you so much. If you've ever raised my name in a room, thank you so much. If you just simply watched my process from afar, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm wishing you and yours the happiest new year. May 2023 be a better year than 2022 was. Here's to good health. Here's to smart decisions. Here's to better policies and implementations from our government officials. Here's to lots of pleasure, more ease, more abundance, less work, more pay, and most of all, just to really good, loving, caring communities. So thanks again for all the support. Happy 2023. I'll see you in the new year. Next year, I have some blogs already planned out to start. I think I don't think I'm gonna continue blogging. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing a blog once a week, but I'll still be blogging. I think I'm primarily going to also there's blogs that I started with that I don't have video and audio for, so I'll do more of those recordings. So look out for me in 2023. Thank you again for all of the support. I hope everyone's doing well. Okay, until next time, in solidarity.